Really good win Saturday night. Proud of the guys, the way they came off the break, played at a really high level, played together, had energy, executed, created turnovers, scored when we got in the red zone, played together, didn't get frustrated when things weren't going our way or we had some self-inflicted things happen on either side of the ball. They just stayed together and kept battling, and the scoreboard took care of itself after all of that. One of my favorite moments of the night, though, was 45 minutes after the game. So normal process, talk to the sideline reporters, go into the locker room, last-minute messages to the guys. We sing the fight song, hug the guys, and then I go with Mike and talk to you guys. Then I go get dressed and I go to the house, and as I leave, I always go back through the locker room to check on the equipment staff. The best moment of the night, other than putting up 56 points in an ACC game, was walking into that locker room 45 minutes after the game was over, and it was spotless. The guys in this program at the end of the game put all their pre-wrap, put all their stuff in where it's supposed to go, cleaned up their lockers, and it looked like nobody had even been there. And that just speaks to the leadership that we have on this team, the leadership in this locker room, how they understand that the little things matter in every single thing that you do. And just was really proud of that moment. Even after you win a big-time game, you can leave, not worry about doing the little things, but our guys did not forget that little piece in our culture, and really proud of how they handled all of that. Recognize Zach Quinney, Offensive Lineman of the Week in the ACC, Jordan Dominic, Defensive Lineman of the Week in the ACC, and Jeff Sims for the third time this season, ACC Rookie of the Week. Really proud of them. The thing that we've tried to make sure we're doing is understand the process. I went back and looked at the last 2 weeks of our catapult data. Those three individuals had the most blue boxes, and Ryan Horton can get in that, but the most blue boxes per their position for the last 2 weeks. So the process that led to that performance paid off. So really proud of them. The developmental players of the week, Kate Kucharitis, playing offensive line for us, has done a really nice job developing. Josh Tukes, simulating their defensive ends. I think they've got two of the best defensive ends in the league, and Josh Tukes did a really good job representing those guys. And then on special teams, Josh Carlson did a really nice job for us. We are a culture built on effort. Okay, and we had some records that were set in the game. Dante Smith, running back, special teams phenom for us, all-time effort score index in the Georgia Tech football program. David Curry ran 9,859 yards in the game, which is, I'm not great at math, but it's 5.6 miles during a college football game, all-time record. That player load for the season, Jordan Dominic broke the record and had a monster game. And then Derek Allen, 815 sprint yards. In the past, if you hit 300, you were doing really, really good. Now 600 is now the normal standard, and Derek Allen popped it with 815 yards. So really proud of those guys, giving great effort, being great teammates, and all those things. So with that, questions.
Okay, if you have questions for Coach Collins, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call people individually, beginning with Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Jared Ivey, obviously, when he comes out into the field, he's 6'6". He's now 255 pounds. Kyle Kennard's another defensive end that goes about 6'6" as well. He's gotten up to the mid 230s. He's getting a role on special teams and in our Prowler package, and got some burn as a defensive end as well. Emmanuel Johnson played a lot of snaps as a true freshman defensive lineman. Did some really nice things. We had initially started him outside as a defensive end. Now he's got some reps inside a defensive tackle. a kilo stone got a sack. And, I joked with his mom because she was there at the game that my ears were still ringing from how loud she was cheering for her son getting the sack. And just really proud. Those are 4 true freshmen playing defensive line, which is not an easy thing to do in major college football. So just really proud of them. The leadership in that room, Marco Coleman, Larry Knight doing a great job developing them. And, it's really good. Tyson Miguez, I think he started on 3 special teams the other night, which is a really big deal. And so really proud of those true freshmen.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, Geoff. Last week we talked to the coordinators, about some of the changes and schemes and so forth that they made leading up to the game. How big a role do you feel that those changes made in the win?
Yeah, I mean, I have complete trust in what they do. It's got to echo, Mike. But they've done a nice job throughout the break, continue to look for unique ways to improve the things that our guys do well. One of the biggest benefits as well was I think that was the first game since the opener since we had virtually every player available on offense. And it was really good to see them have so much success running the ball and then getting the ball delivered in the play action and the drop back game as well. But it was nice to have the full complement of weapons on offense as well. And I thought the defense stopped the run really well. And the best thing about that was we weren't having to blitz every play to affect the run game, which has not always been the case, in the past as we've been developing. And it was really nice to see that defensive line build walls, set edges, and, do a really nice job in the run game.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Geoff, can you tell us anything about Jamir Jordan's availability for Saturday?
Yeah, Jamir's a really good player. I'm sure you guys have watched that as a running back and catching the ball out of the backfield. He's really good. JP Mason, it was really good to see him fully healthy again and toting the ball. Really proud of him. But my favorite thing about that running back room, and I don't know if anybody picked up on this, whenever one of them got a big-time run or a touchdown, the guys that were on the sideline not out there carrying the ball or touching the rock were the most excited, genuine positive energy and celebrating for their teammates. A lot of times we had to hold them back from running out onto the field. They were so excited. That doesn't happen everywhere. And at that position, the way Coach Choice coaches them, has developed that room, has built those relationships. They're factors in the special teams game as well. Just really proud of that room, how they work, how they love each other, how they run the ball, carry the ball, protect, and run block as well. So just really proud of that room as a whole. We got a lot of really good players, but they're built the right way as well.
Next question comes from Bailey Johnson from the AJC.
Hey, Geoff. You know as well as I do that y'all were picked 15th in the league to start the season. Now that you've seen most of the teams,
No, I don't remember that.
now that you've seen most of the teams sort of in film and in games, where do you think y'all stack up with the rest of the league?
I'm not getting into those conversations. I do appreciate it. I do know that's a common theme, but all I worry about is this is the team we have, things that we've gone through, ups and downs, and having availabilities, not having availabilities, games getting canceled, all of those things that have happened through this crazy season. Just really proud of how this team has stayed together, how they've continued to improve, how they've continued to bond through adversity, and then come out and still compete and practice and work, and in the process of building something really, really special. And I think you saw that on display Saturday night downtown Atlanta, Bobby Dodd Stadium, and we just got to continue to build every single day in every single way, fundamentally, execution, effort, energy, recruiting, all of those things just got to continue to build every single day. And one day we'll look back and eventually say, here's how it progressed. But right now we're just in it every single day, completely focused on trying to be the best version of ourselves every single day. And that's all we can worry about.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan.
Hey, Geoff, I'm just kind of curious what you've seen from NC State, and obviously going on the road for the first time in, I think, maybe 6 weeks for you guys.
Yeah. So we've gotten to watch them on crossover tape a bunch this year because a lot of times within the 4 games or 5 games leading up to whoever we're playing, NC State has been a part of that crossover. So we've got to watch them play. Very talented. They play really hard. They've got a lot of unique things, both offensively and defensively, schematically. I think they're one of the top special teams units in the league as well. And so just, the way they play, their demeanor, they've got really good players, and then they have creative schemes as well, and then they play hard. And, just really respect the way they've played this year and understand this is going to be a challenge going up there in Raleigh.
Another question from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Geoff, looking at the punt return game, the beginning of the year, you had Marquise back there a little bit. He seemed like he did some positive things. Is he still an option back there?
He's always an option. There's other layers to it as well. But we've rotated in, I think, 3 or 4 guys back there to field punts for us. The same thing on kickoffs as well. We've rotated guys throughout the year, and this is something we evaluate every single week. And, just try to make sure we're having the right guys out there at the right times.
Another one from Ken Segura.
Hey, Ken.
Geoff, it's obviously been a long season time-wise, and next week you have a short week coming up. How has that impacted the way you guys are practicing?
It's toward the end of the season, irrespective of the circumstances of the year, we tend to start phasing out some of the hitting and the full contact, full padded practices. And that's the same progression that we've been on this year as well. And like today, we went out in spiders today, which early in the season, those practice would be full pads. But as you go throughout the season, there's some attrition through injuries or whatever other circumstances might come about in this new age that we're living in. So we've gone to spiders today, and I thought they had a really nice practice. We practiced over in Bobby Dodd Stadium as well. We did that last week also. But that's just a natural progression of how we go throughout the life cycle of the season. As it gets longer, the hitting, comes down a little bit, but still focus on fundamentals, technique, and execution every single day.
If I got
Time
is
for-
that to save time?
Okay. Sorry, Ken, go
Is
ahead.
that to save time to practice on Bobby Dodd, or what's the kind of advantage of being in there?
A little bit, and then there's not school going on, so we just went ahead and just stayed over there last Tuesday, stayed over there, since it worked last week, a little bit of a creature of habit too. So we did it last Tuesday, so we're going to replicate that again this week. But Wednesday is Shiverboard Wednesday. I coach the DB, so the Shiverboard is right over there in Brock Indoor Facility. So they understand that we have to do Wednesday practices over here so that we can get our Shiverboard work in. That's our ritual and our routine.
Time for a couple more for Coach Collins. We'll start with one from Kelly Quinlan.
How important would it be to finish strong here? You guys have to build momentum both for next year, maybe get into a bowl game, Geoff?
Yeah, that's always the case. It's, trying to play really, really well down the stretch. Playing your best brand of football at the end of the season is always the goal. Just incrementally getting better in every single way, in every single phase is always what you want to do. And, we've just got to continue to build on the things that we did well last Saturday and understand that we've got a really good opponent that we're going to be matched up with, and we've got to play a really, really high-level game to be able to compete up there.